Wife is addicted to Erotica 47M, 48F. My 47M Pois wife, 48F, have been together 24 years and have had a fluctuating sex life for the entire relationship. We have 3 teenage kids and both work, me Monday to Friday full-time, her Monday to Sunday, 1 week on, 1 week off. For the last few years, our sex life has been building significantly, especially given it was probably 10, 15 times per year for the previous decade. Always pretty vanilla, minimal oral, general P vibe only, and not a whole lot of passion. She rarely orgasmed, but would also not generally let me do too much, even though I really wanted to please her. She wasn't into oral or fingering, wasn't really into making noise during sex, and really at times it seemed robotic. A couple of years ago, she raised with me that she had found a female-friendly porn site, and she started reading the story. Our sex life started to pick up immediately. It remained pretty vanilla, but the frequency increased a lot, at least weekly and sometimes more. Last year, she started collecting a set of romantic novels, which I don't really have a problem with, mainly because it's not hidden and out in the open. Then I noticed how much more she was in her phone. She became a lot more secretive with her phone. I raised this with her and told her it felt like she was hiding something, and I asked if she was cheating, which she denied. Sometime later, she eventually told me that she had found some apps with erotic stories, mainly fantasy type stuff, the usual. She told me she liked the stories and the sex scene were fun, but there was nothing to be worried about. Last year, we were traveling as a family and both our mothers were with us. The moment I realized I was no longer comfortable, we were sitting in a foreign airport waiting out a 3 AR delay. I sat next to her, looked over at her screen, and she was in the app reading a really explicit scene. Next to her were both our mothers, and the kids were in front of her on the seats facing us. We got home, and I raised it a month or two later because I felt the behaviors escalating. She was doing less and less around the house in her days off, and I had to pick up a lot of slack. I still wasn't all that worried until I would come home and she would say to me, "Can we get takeout? I haven't thought of anything for dinner." Bear in mind, she had been home alone 9-3 with the kids at school. So I asked what she was doing. "Oh, I just had a chill day in the couch." Once this was happening more and more regularly, I said, "Perhaps you need to take a break from reading occasionally and you might get a little more done." She asked why I was so obsessed with what she was reading. I told her the content doesn't bother me, it's the time. She wrote me a note telling me how upset she is that I think she is sitting around reading porn all day. This has come up a couple more times over the last few months. Throughout all this, our sex life has exploded 5 to 6 times per week. She lets me get her off for a long time, orally and with fingering before PIV. I would say she is having at least 3 orgasms most sessions and even squirts occasionally. Last Thursday, I came home from work, went to our bedroom to change, and could literally smell her sex in the air. She came in while I was just sitting in the bedroom thinking, sat next to me and put her hand straight on my crotch. This isn't usual for her. I raised it later that night and she screamed at me about it, about not trusting her. Again, saying I don't just sit around reading porn and pleasuring myself all day. In the morning, she wrote another letter, which she didn't give me, but left on her bedside table, and I read it. She again denied that she'd doing it excessively and said, if I can't trust her, then what does our future hold? Again, it's not the content, but the impact on our life, which is bothering me. Later that night, she left her phone unlocked in the bedroom while I was in there. I locked the door and decided to snoop. I'm not proud of it, but couldn't resist. Nothing in Safari, nothing incognito. Then I looked at her battery use. She has always said it doesn't interest her. I checked her history and saw at least 60 stories from erotic literature, all pretty hardcore. Gangbangs, bondage, fisting, taboo, age play, and probably 50 gifts from various sex subs. All that day. I didn't say anything, but it's been 6 days and we have had sex 9 times. Frankly, I'm exhausted, and I know that in my head, I feel like I have to try to keep up with what she is reading. I know it's upsetting me, and most would say I shouldn't complain given the amount of sex I'm getting, but it's just not sitting right with me. How do I approach this? Mentioning I checked her phone seems fraught with danger. Raising it again seems pointless because she will just deny again. I am feeling like her usage and area of interest is escalating so fast. She is changing as a person, and I'm concerned about where this will end. I don't want our marriage to end, but I am so uncomfortable with what I have seen. I would really like advice on how to best proceed in a way we both feel good about the conversation and doesn't blow up the marriage.